Yo, what is good, people? We are here with part 14 of Chronicon. We're still going. We won't stop. 2 weeks worth of the gnosis. Shout out to archaix, Mr. Bashir's. Buy that man a book that predates 1960. You can slap it behind him in the library. Buy him a coffee, send him a shirt, all that good stuff. Subscribe to his channel, and while you're there, subscribe to mine. In the background, we got Cosmo Canyon. That's from Final Fantasy VII. Anyone who knows FF7 knows it is absolute gem of a game. And it ties in with Jason's research beautifully. Probably the best game ever made, to be honest. Alright, let's get into part 14 of Chronicon. 3103 BC. Using scientific data obtained from a convention of archaeologists, astrophysicists, botanists, and historians who conveyed in 1997 AD, Frank Joseph demonstrates in his research in the year 3113 BC, a single or series of comet meteorite impacts devastated North America, causing global quakes, temperature and climate changes, drought, and blanketing of cosmic dust. His conclusion is that a cataclysm began the Mayan long count. This aligns perfectly with this thesis, which demonstrates that a cataclysm will also end the long count. There is evidence that the origin of Venus, or the site of a long tail trailing off of Venus, was seen in 3113 BC. The Mayan historian Morley wrote that the Mayan civilization is lost in the remote past. Not even the shadowy half-lights of tradition illuminating its beginnings, the very earliest inscriptions literally burst upon us fully formed. The flower of long-continued astronomical observations expressed in a graphic system exceeding intricacy. That was a sexy sentence. Make sure you check out my Instagram, by the way, Darko and Sun. I have a different take on how we can handle these cataclysms, and I believe that there's more to manifesting the realities we want than meets the eye. And it definitely starts with cultivating a healthy inner space. But anyway, I won't get into too much. We're doing this readout here. Spindon wrote, it would be accepted as self-evident that the Maya calendar could not have sprung suddenly into being, based it is upon exact astronomical facts and intricate mathematical calculations. There was no earlier civilization in the America field sufficient to furnish even the fundamental concepts of the calendar. This was the early opinion of the baffled scholars, but now it has been discovered that the Maya merely preserved this ancient calendar from the Olmeca. The discovery of a jade figurine with a calendar inscribed upon its stomach indicates to scholars the date of 3113 BC, showing that this unique calendrical system antedated the Maya and every other archaic American system spanning back to at least 1200 BC. Jan Reinhardt, in Science Digest, September 1967 edition, wrote that it is a masterpiece of mathematical knowledge, and it was the Olmeca, not the Maya, who developed it. Again, they are only one more discovery away from finding that the Olmecs didn't develop it either. This 3113 BC date was 260 of the Olmec calendar, or 52 times 5. The entire length of the long count was 5,200 years. That were 360 days each, or 52 times 100. We're still chilling in 3103 BC here. And this begins the Kali Yuga calendar of ancient India, known as the Black Age, that began with the emergence of an 8-armed goddess, a bloodthirsty queen. Her symbol was an upside-down pentagram. She was remembered as the wicked deity Shiva by the Hindu, having 8 arms, a deity of destruction. She is Spider-Woman in Old America, but the early Egyptians recalled her as a male deity, the Scorpion King, 8-armed arachnid. Kali is feminine form of the Sanskrit Kala, meaning time. The Persians relate that on this date there was a disaster involving a flooding. In 290 BC, 293 BC to be precise, the Egyptian priest historian Manetho studied the Egyptian Old Chronicle that cites 113 regnal descents in a 36,525 year period back to Pharaoh Scorpion. But the text is a code, as evidenced by the number 36,525 being the same as the solar year at that time, 365.25 days. Interestingly, this sum is decoded by dividing it by 13 lunar months, the lunar year, which gives us 2,810 years before 293 BC for the date of 3103 BC. In this year, the chronologist King Enoch was 170 years old. This was the 130th year of his prophesying against the Anunnaki and his 48th year as emperor. Kali is a fragment memory of the Anunnaki dynasty. It was an emerging but not yet in power, at least not over the Sethites. The date 3100 BC is the time assigned by Egyptologists to the rule of Namur, who unified all the people into a united kingdom. Namur is in fact Enoch, described with the epithet Na, Ner, is the same, representing 600, an epoch, and Emir, the Egyptian designation for pyramid, 3100 BC being Enoch's 108th year of rule. Alright, we're going to stop it there, and we'll be back tomorrow with more Chronicon. Much love.